asking your questions makes no sense. And I will not indulge in foolishness. I ask you to tell me why I am not the Messiah. And you coming around here talking about electromagnetism. You would ask Jesus the Christ, he was a man of flesh. You would ask him, you're not the Messiah. What do you know about electromagnetism? What are you talking about? You come up with something solid. You look like you're trying to get popular and using me to get popular. And you should
Oh,
become more
man.
concerned about your soul salvation, because it seems to me, listen, I love you, brother. And I come to make disciples of all humanity, and you are one of them. And perhaps you can learn something from me if you humble yourself and ask. Otherwise, you'll just be one of those that are going to get consumed.
Where you from, my man? Where you ripping?
I'm living in Florida.
Are you from Florida or no? Are you from Africa or
I'm,
no?
the Messiah this time come from the West, from the Bahamas.
Oh, okay. So are you a shotta?
If I'm a what?
A shotta? Are you a shotta? I'm just asking. I'm just asking. Hey, I'm just asking.
It's whatever Shata means to you. I am a Bahamian.
Okay. All right, Bohemian. All right. And so what book do you read out of? What Bible do you follow?
Listen to me. There is the Old Testament. That's a part of the Bible. Then there was the New Testament. That's a part of the Bible. Now you have the New Providence, which constitute the Old Testament, the New Testament, the Urantia book, which is an offshoot from the Bible. Oh, hang on, which is an offshoot from the Bible. So it's and now you got the living word of the living God, which is constitutive of the Old, the New, the book of Moses, the book of Jesus.
Okay, yeah, you're talking about it.
The papers, and my book, which is the book of Michael, the book of New Providence. In other words, you had Moses with the law, Jesus with the grace. Now you have myself with the providence of the living God.
What year did that book? What year did that book come out?
What book?
The one you're referring to.
Which one? I referred to 3 separate books.
Give me your earliest book. Give me your oldest book. What is the oldest one you read out?
It's not been published yet. It's right now being prepared to be edited and formatted for publication.
I mean, old, like your oldest book, not the newest. Not...
Yes.
Okay, so what? All right, so what year did those books come out, and who translated them?
Well, what year did the book of Moses come out? What year did the book of Jesus come out? What year did the Urantia book come out?
If you're talking about, now are you referring to Africa or are you referring to America? Because if we go into Africa, it's going to start around 1400 BC. If we're going to America, things are going to start kicking off around 1600 CE. So which exactly are you referring to?
Let me ask you a question first before I answer that. The Urantia book.
Hey, Karima, what the fuck is going on?
Did you read anything of the Urantia book?
No, I only rock with the Geneva Bible.
Hold on. Well, hang on then. Well, I suggest that you go and get an education, perhaps just skim it a little bit, okay? Because before I go on with you, I have already have enough experience that those who have not had any idea of the Urantia book, talking to them is like talking to little babies, which cannot understand
my book is banned. My book was banned from King James, so don't nobody know about my book either. So when I talk to people, they have no clue about a real Bible book. They're all reading the book that has interpretations and fallacies in it. So that's why I had to ask you, what exactly are you reading? Because most people think they're reading something. Even people that read the Quran, they don't know they're reading their interpretation. They don't know that's orally passed down. They don't know that stuff is altered, but they think it's authentic. So I'm asking you, who translated your books?
And I'm telling you to go and read. At least go and read a little bit of the Urantia book so that I can answer you accordingly, because you would not comprehend.
Okay, so all right. So have you ever heard of the Geneva Bible book?
Well, I do know that the Bible itself is missing many books.
I
So,
said Geneva Bible. I said, have you ever heard of the Geneva Bible?
uh, perhaps, maybe not. I
You
don't. I'm
said
not
you're a
certain. But
scholar, but you never heard of the Geneva Bible. If
my
you would
brother,
know,
if
all the
we're
Bibles
gonna
are
get,
based on the Geneva
hold on.
Bible.
I will not allow myself. If you don't understand, if listen, I have already experienced this. There's no such thing as a fool would have experienced something and still go and allow themselves to get dragged down in the same mud. I will not do it until you. I'm not going to speak to anybody concerning those things if they have no understanding of the Urantia book. The Urantia book, what I'm saying to you is not something that was handed down by men, taken from God in that way. I am talking about celestials, God intervening on the planet during this age to bring about the complete knowledge before life started on this planet, before the
Are you
universes were
referring to
made.
Nibiru? Are you referring to Nibiru or something?
My brother, this is way past Nibiru and all those. I'm saying go and just look at it, just summarize it for your little self, and you could send me a copy of Geneva Bible, and then I will tell you what is what. How about that? Because that's the best
We'll
thing.
swap books.
I
Yeah,
don't
we'll
want you.
swap out books
Yeah, I
then
don't
and see
want
who
you to
got the
get
real one.
insulted and think that I'm going to discard you and throw you aside with your Geneva Bible. I don't want to do that. So just
No,
send it
it's
to
all
me,
good. Yeah,
and I will
I'm
look
open to
at
it,
it.
brother. You put me on the
Yes,
book, I'll put you on the book. We'll call it even.
yes, yes. I have no problems with that, and I'm
It's all
certain that
good.
you will. Okay, because if your book talks about this super creation, the seven super universes of Vona on Paradise, the geographical source and center for material reality, if your book talks about who is to come in the last days and in living flesh right now on this phone with you, if you know who I am and what I come to do, and if you realize that if I puff myself up with pride, I'm a dead man, if you realize that the truth what I have is salvation, that I have a message to Christianity, to Islam, and every religion on the planet. This is nothing to deal with. This is nothing to play with. Because if I'm afraid to tell you what I have in me, I am a dead man. Believe me, this is eternal life, but this is only for those who seek it, who truly hunger and thirst for it. Because if you don't hunger and thirst for it, man, you will look at me like another little idiot talking. You wouldn't be able to appreciate me at all. You wouldn't be able to understand the depth of what I am all about. You wouldn't understand that my love for you, my mercy for you, my forgiveness for you, and how I honestly seek to elevate your spirit to make you walk as a God in flesh. You would never be able to understand how much I care about all of you all. All of you all. You'll never understand that this is to the death. This is nothing to play with. This is to be
But
hot
the
on fire to the death.
but
This
the
is nothing
kingdom is inside
spilling
you,
the
right?
yes,
The kingdom is
absolutely.
within everybody, right?
Yes, but not
So we're
everybody
all
knows this.
operating off of the same bylaws, correct?
We are all children of one God, one Father. All of
Okay,
us.
now you say one God. What about the female? Is it not God and a lady, or is it just God? Period.
No, God is the Father, the Son, and the Mother.
Wait,
The
no, baby.
universal, listen to this carefully, the universal, the eternal, and the infinite, the spirit, the personality, and the mind. There can't be a father and a son without a mother. There cannot be a personality a spirit and a
That part, but
personality
y'all don't
without a
praise the
mind.
woman.
You cannot have a thought and a word without an action. The thought is God the Father, the word is God the Son, and the action is God the Mother. The mother is the conjoint actor on behalf of the Father and the Son. The mother is the executive, the manifestation, the actual realization, powerization, manifestation of that which is the third source and center. And this is
Is that
reality.
scripture or interpretation?
Well, you just said about the mother, and I'm validating what you said. I'm only taking it to another level.
Okay, I'm listening. Okay, I'm just asking where it came from. Keep going.
Yeah. Well, you want me to answer you as to where God came from?
No, I'm just listening to you talk about talk
Well,
about
you know what?
where it comes from. When we're
Well,
talking about gods, and we hopped on the you was on a single god. I said, what about the female? What about multiple gods? Some religions praise multiple, some praise single, some have a woman, some don't have a woman, some the
I
woman's under the
understand.
man.
Yes, that is the truth.
That's why I'm trying to get
That's
clarification
called
where you coming from. That's all I'm doing.
that's called polytheism. The polytheism is the beginning and the building blocks and the foundation for monotheism. There are three monotheistic God concepts upon the earth right now, and that is between Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. Monotheism. And those three, that's why I brought Alleluia, which is Allah and Yahweh. Allah love Yahweh. Alleluia, I brought it to Alleluia Jah, which Allah love Yahweh and Jehovah. So Allah, the Christians, the Muslims, and the Jews, in order for them to be valid, they have to be united because there's one God, but it's expressed in three in one. Just like your thought, word, and action is in one. Your spirit, your personality, and your mind is in one. Once,
Okay. Let's stop. So you're talking about the Trinity, correct?
absolutely.
So
Without the
who is the
Trinity, you
creator?
could
Do
not
you know
be.
who the creator of the Trinity of that word and that definition? Do you know who he is?
Now, if you're asking me, what was your question exactly? Say
Do
that
you
again.
know the person who gave y'all who gave them the Trinity word and definition? The person
If
who
you
defined it.
if you say you mean the person that was able to grasp the Trinity concept,
I mean, I
because
get that
the
one.
Trinity
I get
itself,
it.
the Trinity itself, thought, word, and action, spirit, personality, and mind, is
Well, it's Latin.
primal.
It's
It's
Trinitized.
primal. It's primal, centered, sourced, and centered in paradise, upper paradise. Nether paradise is where your force, all force, energy, and power come from. Force energy transmuted down to energy, and energy further transmuted down to
You're
power the
talking about ether
universe.
now, right? You're referring to ether?
No. See, space is not empty. So this
Right.
ether, so forget about the ether. I'm talking about the source of all energy, all
The
material.
database.
Everything is
The
it's
two.
coming.
You're talking
It's
where we all draw
it's
from, where the information
it
comes from.
is centered in the universal Father.
The higher consciousness or the cloud database that we draw
Well,
from.
well, well, this goes beyond that. So this is that's why I tell you to try to study a little bit of the Urantia book, but you must know the Bible. So, but the study of the Urantia book will put the Bible in proper context. But when
Well,
you have
I
to
do
base,
analytical studies, and like depending on which Bible that you read, a lot of people have the wrong Bible. They just don't know it.
well, there's a lot. Well, you know that there's a lot of books that was taken out of the Bible. It's far more than the 66 books, and we all know this. But it all has its source and origin, and that's the
Yeah,
reason why.
exactly. So the origin of the word Trinity comes from Tertullian, which was a black guy. He's a black philosopher that gave them that definition, and it's Latin because it means like three in one, basically.
Before this black guy was made or anything, please, did you check out the Urantia book? Because if I want to give you an education in the Urantia book, then I will do so. But I don't have the
I'm gonna
time.
dig in
I
on that Urantia
oblige to
book.
Rama. I
Can you
oblige
tell
to
me
Rama.
what year it came out or what year it got translated or what they translated it off of?
It was published in the 1930s, the early 1930s, and
Oh, okay, now that's your first
It
mistake.
was narrated in the early 1930s and published in 1955.
Okay, I bet you about $50 that your book is translated off my book. My book came out in 1599. Your book came out in 1930, 1920. Everything that came out after about 1600 is based off the everything that came in 14 and 1500. They didn't find like the
Uh,
Quran. They didn't like the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Torah. All that stuff is translated in 1900 because they just got to it and they barely know how to look at it and read it. They don't have no
well,
real scholars or direct translators to break that stuff down. So they had to go off of what they had from 1500 because that was the
well,
last people that that was real scholars that wasn't under like serious control or rule. Because King James, he killed everybody. Like I said, the Geneva
Well,
Bible's banned for a reason. It's got a
well,
lot of stuff in there, and they banned it in
well,
1611 for the KJV to take shine and
well.
have everybody lost.
I can see you did a little introspection, but I would like for you to really consider. Have you read any of the Arancha papers?
If you say I don't really like anything coming after 1600, is
I
usually going to
just
be based off of
asked you
something
a
else.
question, sir. Did you or did you not check out what you are criticizing? Yes
I'm
or no?
still on the phone with you.
Well, if you have not checked it out, I strongly suggest that you do so. Because if I tell you that celestials and all that, commissioned by the ancients of days, the super universe rulers, mandated and commissioned this book that brings out everything from the beginning of time and space.
Is it like
Please,
the Apocrypha?
stop saying that. Just go and do it, and then you could schedule a show sometime. And I have no problems in obliging you to go through it, but I do
Yeah,
not
I'll
wish to
definitely
go
check
on this
into it. I'll
rhetoric.
definitely check. If you could put the source in the chat, I'll definitely check into it.
Urantia.org. I will put it in the
Your
chat. Now,
answer?
Karima, I think you're very familiar with Urantia.org, aren't you? And you could even listen to it. You don't even have to read it. All you have to do is listen to one
Yeah,
part of
I'll
it
definitely
and
look
have
into
your
it. The
mind
your answer.
blown.
I'm glad you put me on that. I'm gonna check that out. I mean, I
Yes.
really don't like nothing from the 1900s. Truthfully, I don't approve anything from the 1900s, but I will look at it.
Yeah. Remember now to stop. Don't look at the timing. Yeah. Yeah. Don't worry about.
That's a bit. I'm gonna look at it for sure. I'm gonna look at it.
Yeah. And you could send me your book, and it's listen to me. We can learn from each other. That's what we have to understand.
Oh
I've
yeah, I'm gonna
learned a
drop
lot
some
from
info in the
talking to
chat.
you
I'm
guys.
gonna drop some sources in the back chat for sure. But oh yeah,
I've learned a lot from you guys. I learn every day. I mean, people teaching me every day. I'm listening and learning. Man,
hey,
look here. Learning is something that you don't stop until you die. And when
can
you
I
die,
can I
you're just ready
can
to
I ask you
learn.
a question?
Absolutely.
So what do you know about was Ethiopia ever conquered?
Uh,
I mean, if you don't know, if you don't know, then you ain't got to worry about it. You can
listen.
just say,
I
you know.
studied. I'm a man like you who have studied. I didn't study everything.
I'm
I'm
just
not no
asking your
walking
opinion, brother. If you don't
encyclopedia.
know, you just all you gotta say is I'm not clear. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna
Yes,
lie to you. I don't know.
absolutely, absolutely. You probably can teach me a hell of a lot about what happened with Ethiopia and all these other things like that.
Yeah, no, it's
My
all
knowledge,
good.
it's just the same thing with Jesus Christ. That's why they used to try to. They used to ask him all kind of questions and stuff, and he used to look at them and saying, he was a man struggling just like them. Only what was revealed to him or what he studied, God cannot, when God give you knowledge, the Spirit of God knows it all in me. But the man only knows so much.
Then
You understand me?
the high priest schooled him, right?
Not only the high priest, a lot of them school him. He went to India, he went all over the place and learn the healing and all kinds of stuff like that. You understand me? I'm still learning myself, but I know
Let me
who I
hit
am
y'all.
and what I come to do, and I have the knowledge to save humanity.
Let me hit y'all with some stats. So they mention African nations over 1,000 times in the Bible, and they only mention European nations a total of 50 times, and that's in the Old Testament.
Hmm.
Just Bible trivia information. They say Niger one time in the Bible, and it does mean black, and it's a person. But y'all know that
Well,
already.
once you check into, you sound like a very learned gentleman. That is very good. Which means when you got the Urantia book, man, nobody will be able to touch you. You'll probably
Oh,
become one of my
all
chief.
right, okay,
You'll
all
probably
right,
become one of
man. I
my
don't need
chief
no more ammo, but
disciples.
I'll take it.
You'll probably become one of my chief apostles. You will
I'm
take the
kind of like a
nations by
most high
storm.
priest.
You sound like Eric.
Eric is in this back chat with me.
No, man, I'm just trying to learn, man. Just tell me whatever's on your mind. I ain't, ain't no bias, ain't no trash talk. I'm just trying to learn like everybody else.
Yes, well, we all have to learn, and learning just starts after this life. You really just start to learn after this life, believe me. You
So, what
know,
do you know about the Moors? Which I got a little video going.
that's what I'm looking at.
About what he's talking about, which is
Revelation.
Is it a direct translation?
Epochal. From the universe.
It say the first humans. It's talking about the African first humans or what?
This next one, right? Put it in the comment section right now.
Let me check the credentials on this book real quick.
Trillions.
Okay, so let's say your book don't have an author. Where did they get the origins of this book at? Where did they?
Hungry and thirsty.
Hey, how you doing?
All right.
Joshua.
Oh, D. All right. Oh, yeah.
Next to me.
Oh, you good?
Yeah. Wait, is there any water in there? Oh, it's just paper.
Grab you one, I guess.
Thank you, man.
Remy, you're the best. I don't know where you got this presentation from, but this is remarkable.
Okay, let me ask you, what all background information do you have on this book?
Say that again.
I said, what all background information do you have on this book? I went and checked it out. I went and checked the credentials on it. So what background information do you have on this book, credential-wise?
I am the living Urantia. I am the
You are the
living
living
Bible.
Urantia. So
I
you're
am the
adopting this
living
book pretty
word
much.
of God. I am the living word of the living God. Why? Because I do it. When you do it, you become it.
I mean, because God is everything, right? Or it's in everything, or He makes everything, or whatever the hell is in that, and it's all this and everything that can be,
It's
right?
not as simple as that. Perhaps you can check into the nature of God in the first chapters of the Urantia papers, and then you would perhaps
It
be able
has
to
no
present it
author.
more.
Your book has
Why,
no author. You know your book has no author,
listen,
right?
listen to me carefully. Listen, don't say it has no author. It was mediated by celestials to certain human beings that had the
The
capacity
people
to
that
receive it.
published the
Why
book,
don't
they're ghost
why
people.
why is it that hold on? Why is it that you would not what I'm
I'm
saying
listening.
is the first thing I will do before I knock anything, I would read it to find out if there is indeed substance. And if there is validity and substance that I can understand and comprehend using my intellectual reasoning and rationale, then I would make my own personal decisions. So until I do that, what's the use of running back and forth? I don't care if it come from the mouth of a donkey. If it makes sense, I will kiss the donkey.
Well, if the donkey is not qualified to give you advice, why would you take it?
Well, if you say angels and spirits and the ancients of days, the most highs, and all these other things, all these other beings that are existing, all that are real. If you say that Michael of Nebadon, the real Jesus Christ, I'm telling you, just face reality, listen to it, and then see if it makes sense. And a man of your reasoning and culpability, I guarantee you, I assure you that perhaps you would consider becoming my disciple.
Hey, let me just hit you with some little information real quick. So, do you believe in? Are you an evolution person? You believe in evolution or not?
God is a God of science, is he not? Omniscient, omnipotent. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, all right, bet. Okay, great, perfect. All right, well, let me break down what evolution is. Evolution is a super huge scam, and I can tell you why. Because when you go to the top evolution people that have been leading in the evolution field, guess what these people don't have? These people don't even have the credentials to even speak about evolution. Do you know what it takes to talk about evolution? Do y'all know the 3 evolution fields?
What are the
Anybody?
3 evolutionary fields?
The 3 evolutionary fields are paleontology, because you got
Hmm.
to study old animal fossils, correct?
Hmm.
The next one would be geology, because you got to study the old rock that the old fossil is trapped in, correct?
Mhm.
And the third one is genetics, DNA.
Now, if you check your genetics, your paleontology, and all of the rest of them, you will find that you're talking about life. And what is life? Evolutionary. Now, where did life start and how was it started? Before the rock formation, before all these things that you
Slow
study.
down,
You must
slow down.
check the
Slow
Rancher
down.
book. Check
Just
the
slow down
Rancher
real
book
quick.
and you will find out
I got you.
before this paleontology and all of that.
I'm
You
gonna
must
check it
check
out.
the Rancher book, then because now then I'm going to be running on with you and we'll be doing rhetoricals because
Just
I'm
listen to
trying to
me.
tell you that you must look before the life. That's why I'm asking you. You cannot wait. You are very, I understand you're full of knowledge and you can't wait to upload all of this and bring it all out. But I'm trying to tell you, humble yourself a little bit and realize that no matter how much you know, there's far much more. And even
Let me just
myself
say
have
this
to
real
admit to
quick.
this.
Let me just say this real quick. You had mentioned the lifetime, right? I heard you said that's a lifetime. You said something about a lifetime.
No,
Now,
I didn't say that. I said all of your paleontology and all that deals with life trapped into the fossils and all that.
okay,
But you must
bet.
go,
Okay.
and then you
It's,
look at the rings on the plant trees
that's
and all these
cool.
other things.
That's
But I'm
good.
trying to show you something. Humble yourself and go and listen to
I'm trying to
knowledge
finish what I'm telling
that
you though.
predated and precedes this. That's all. Go and check this knowledge. It's in the
How
Irancha
does the
book.
1950 book predate and precede that?
Because you can't understand that the people that relate that intermediate that intervene and mediated with this book transmitted this knowledge are beings that been around for trillions of years long before the earth was formed.
You mean the
Please.
guardians
So,
or the temple watchers or the wise men or the
no, no,
preservers of
no.
knowledge?
You're going on your little knowledge. You need to humble yourself, young man.
Hey, it
Please.
don't even matter about that. Let me just break down this evolution for you. So, like you said, the word life. Now, let's just think about degrees. Let's just think about degrees now, okay? Everybody, we're strictly on degrees and qualifications because that means everything. When people drop sources and they drop sources from people that aren't even qualified to speak on the subject or the topic. So, I always check authors. I always check the writers. I always check translators. That is the biggest thing from like you got to be on top of it. And then I check the year too because I need to know what year that came out and what predates what. But anyway, so I say that to say this. Now, paleontology, geology, and genetics don't all you do know each one of these fields dang near takes a whole lifetime to finish, right? To be a professional at it. To be a professional, to be leading in paleontology, to be leading in geology, to be leading in genetics, okay, you got to be dang near 150. Like you'd have to spend 30 years on one field, 30 years in another, 30 years in another, just to say you are qualified to even open your mouth and speak about some evolution. So the whole evolution thing is all a super big scam. Now, when you go to all the book writers and the top evolution guys, none of them are even qualified or have the credentials to even speak or even start to talk about evolution. They have no credentials, no qualifications. These fools are biologists, naturalists, and authors, okay, or zoologists.
And it's still merely scratching the surface of these various topics that, and I'm trying to tell you that there is information, knowledge that predates all of this. And I'm only asking you to humble yourself and check it out. You said you got a book, send it to me. Go and check out the Rancher book, and then you will have the change of thoughts in many
I'm gonna
things.
tell you Geneva 1599. You're telling me that you're ranching 1950. I'm definitely gonna look into it.
You're trying to say you're dealing with a book and you're trying to say you're basing its validity on the time that it came out.
I'm not basing it
That's
on
that
that. I'm basing
you
it on
cannot
that on the
you cannot
scholars.
the beings that relayed this information, they're relaying information that they saw on the planet. The life carriers that came on this planet and formulated the life plans for this planet and watch it evolve until a certain stage. All of these things are there so that you could understand before your geology and all
Okay,
your study
okay,
of
slow
the
down,
things
slow
in this
down.
world.
Are you referring to stardust and all that now? You're talking about hydrogens,
No,
the helix, and all that?
no. We're talking about even how the earth was formed, gorged out of the sun by a system passing by the sun and its gravitational pull taking the earth out and the earth being swung not as far enough to escape the gravity of the sun, and not as close enough to be sucked back into the sun, but to hang in orbit and orbiting around the sun and
See, that's the one thing about
after
it
millions
all.
and
It
millions.
has to be perfect. If anything is slightly off, everything goes wrong in the
You know,
atmosphere.
I don't want to run on with semantics and run on with rhetoric and all that because I have other things. I have a family,
No,
and
you
dinner is
good.
prepared. Dinner is prepared. And all I ask you to do is, I know you would represent a very good person to speak with, an ideal person to speak with once you have that knowledge. And then you would be able to put everything in proper context. So I admonish you, the Urantia book is the fifth epochal mission. The first one was the arrival of the planetary prince when the human beings had gone to that point in their evolutionary scale to be able to reciprocate with those kinds of beings and so forth. That was the arrival of the planetary prince. The second epochal mission was the arrival of Adam and Eve. The third epochal mission was the arrival of Melchizedek. The fourth epochal mission was the arrival of Michael of Nebadon in the life of Jesus Christ. The
Okay,
fifth
hold on,
epochal
slow
mission,
down.
the
Okay,
fifth
just slow
epochal,
down.
hold on, let me just finish it. The
Okay,
fifth
go ahead.
epochal mission was the Urantia book. The sixth epochal mission deals with the magisterial son, the creator son, and the teacher sons all combined in one, along with this Urantia book presentation, because the world is at that stage in its evolution where the people have advanced to that extent, but yet they're not advanced because they're still dealing with war to settle the differences, and they're still enslaving people institutionally. And this is the reason for me introducing my united and universal systems of self-sustainability that is going to reverse the trend and empower our people in their vital necessities like food, water, shelter, housing, land and resources, technology and recycling. All of these things will be taught from kids level, so our people will be empowered and off the corporate trend whereby they enslave us and poison us at the
I
same
feel
time.
that.
But and all this is in my book to come out. And I am sure that everybody would find it. I'm going to have many podcasts because the book has to be broken down because it's not an easy read like that. It's something like going through the Bible, but it's on another level. It includes the Bible. It includes the Rancher book. And my life right now is being lived because I represent the seventh epochal mission, which is the return of Michael of Nebadon. And I'm bringing revelations to the world.
Okay,
And
so
when you
Adam
hear
and
me,
Eve. So it was just them?
but do you mean Adam and Eve were not made here? They were not born here. They were superhumans. They were not regular human beings. They were over 8 foot tall and they were violet color and they had the aura because they were feeding on the Morontia currents. They had dual circulatory systems. That explains why they saw this experiment and look at that. Eve came out of Adam rib, and that's not true. They were a pair. They were made like that, and their job is to biologically uplift the human population when the human population was prepared for it, and to make the human population more resistant to diseases and also more intellectually inclined to reciprocate on those spiritual levels.
I
You
thought it was
say
able for them to reproduce.
Well, their job was to reproduce so many Adam and Eves, so many female, and each of
But
the
they
male
made
and
them in the
female
lab, correct?
made them what?
They made them in the lab, and it was a whole lot of Adam. It wasn't
No,
just them.
no, 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 no. They came from the system and the constellation capital worlds. They were chosen. They were selected. There were hundreds and hundreds of couples that was volunteering to come to be to govern this world, to biologically uplift this planet, the human race. That's their job. But they failed. Eve went and screwed around on Adam because she felt that she could have, the job was, the planet was like in reprobation. People were coming back into the savagery because you can decline or you can ascend. You can descend in your evolution or you can ascend in your evolution. And when you lack knowledge and understanding, and when you have Lucifer uh, perpetrating through Satan, and then down to Caligastia, who was the planetary prince at that time, who went in with Lucifer and Satan. When they contaminate, these beings are way over us, and intellectually and all that. They're part of the infinite kingdom, and they screwed around with the minds. They messed up a lot of angels, the lower angels, and they screwed up a lot of humans. And of course, humans, because he declared himself as the God of freedom. But this is why people want freedoms without restraints and bridles. And so then that's why you have this massive type of orgy type of thing going on where the men want to be women and the women want to be, they want to capsize marriage and the family and the home. They want to destroy everything that is holy and sacred. That's the point, because he rebelled against God, and his ideology is there is no God, there is no paradise, because he lacked the patience. Because, in the infinite kingdom, he has to wait until his system was settled in light and life before he can take a vacation so that he can go and see this God that he defended all his life, that he went and turned against and say there is no paradise and there is no God, that Michael of Nebadon, who was his father, he could accept him as his father, but not as his God. And Michael, once he completed the 7 bestowals on this planet, and the 7 bestowals in the life of the creatures of his own creation, which was the humans, the angels, Melchizedek, Verondadex, which is referred to as the Most Highs, the Verondadex of the constellation capital. He incarnated in these beings so that he can show these beings how to ascend, how to overcome adversities. Adversities is intentional on these worlds because it is through the adversities that the best of the human nature come out. People don't come out to be who they really are until they're under pressure. And this is the whole ideology of adversities, to overcome the hardship. And this is why our lifespan is so short, because our Father realized what we have to go through, and he make it tough like that. But at the same token, he has a guide in us. The Father in paradise, the universal Father, fragmented himself and put his spirit in each and every one of us, so that these signals are being sent to us, and we must overcome our animal nature. Let the flesh bend, let the flesh break, let the flesh die, so that we can receive spiritual luminosity and follow the
Okay.
guide of our spirit.
All right. What about our cells holding a bunch of information though? Like our cell, one single cell, gram of cell holds more information in it. So what about the intelligent design?
There is no doubt, even the most brilliant of scientists, Einstein and all those, admitted that there is mind involved in this creation. You can see mind.
It's got to be because it's too perfect. It's too flawless. It's everything. The dots all connect. Everything works in perfect harmony.
Yeah.
So, and if it falls out of harmony, everything will mess up.
Yes.
But when it's in good harmony, everything's gravy.
Yes, and once you start to read the Urantia book and begin to comprehend what God is all about and his nature, and you'll start to feel his love and understand, because this revelation is very critical. You see, you could have a lot of knowledge, but always remember, without revelation, you can't go higher, because no matter how much knowledge you have, in order to go higher, you must, because you don't have no way of figuring out what's beyond a certain point. Because first of all, you have a mortal mind, a limited capacity, straight line, linear thinking personality.
Not three-dimensional at all.
Yes, this mortal mind cannot perceive certain realities, but so that's the reason for ascension. And even our bodies, this physical body, is not going to be physical body anymore. It's going to be Marancha, and the mind will be Marancha mind, and you would retain, because your personality have the capacity to retain your memory of this life, and retain, so it retains your identity, so you know who you were when you were on this planet, and you know what you were, and you
Is
would
this your
remember.
rancher? Is that Latin or Greek or what?
The Urantia book could be interpreted in many languages and translated in many languages and all that. It's in English right now, and it could be translated in other languages.
Yeah, it could
So
be in all languages because it ain't got no author, so everybody's basically able to, I guess,
remember,
drop that book and claim it or sell it at
remember,
least.
remember, before you knock it, read it. Look at my flyer. I have a brochure. It has me with the seal in my forehead. It has me with a long cape with a sword in my hand, with fire around me at the bottom, and holding a sword, and with the I am on my solar plexus, with the King of Kings and Lord of Lords on my outer thigh. And some people call me and tell me, this is scary. This is intimidating. That's the point. That is exactly the point. But you can't, and some say you look naked and all this. They can't see that I come to fight and make war. If I am to win the soul of humanity, I have to fight the demonic forces. I have to fight the negativity. I have to fight the confusion. And I have to break it. And to break it, I have to give them knowledge to alert the mind and consciousness of every human being. And I have some tools. One of my tools is the Urantia book. One of my tools is the Old Testament and the New Testament. And one of my tools is the book of my life and how my life impacted many people around the world and what they saw of me supernaturally to prove who I am. All of these things is in the book of New Providence because Moses had
Testimonies.
it.
Your
Moses had
testimonials.
testimonials, visions, all these things, and even my songs and the new holidays that I'm presenting to the world. 42 more holidays.
Testifying.
Yes, because I want to bring leisure. I want to even introduce polygamy, and especially with the black race, so that all of this fornication and adultery can be done with. You have men that has their wife, and they have other women who has children and all that. Instead of ducking around and sneaking around, I want to encourage the government to give incentives to them so that they can have a proper home and dwelling place on land
That's what
space.
America
And
did. America came up with that, so yeah, they do that because they don't want us to have an empire. Like you can't build no empire with if it's just you and a female. You need a whole lot of people to build an empire. That's their way of keeping people tied down. Like we all can't individually grow as an empire. America, because we're not all thinking, let's all huddle up and build an area. Let's all get together, join up, and all go for this one goal. Because it's all marriage and husband and wife. That's it, and the kids. But they don't tell you you get a bunch of females. You know what I'm saying? Like you get sick, you need one female to rule the kingdom. You need another female to nurse the king. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't just you feel me. Two people ain't gonna do it. You can't build an empire with just two. You need more than two people.
Sometimes you have women being neglected and the man cheating and ducking and hiding. And the reality is, those children should know their brothers and sisters, and those women should know each other in that way to know that listen, and the man should be able to have, and that family as a whole should be able to expand and enjoy life, come together as a unity. So it eliminates adultery, it eliminates the fornication, and men should be satisfied because if they go and commit fornication and adultery when they're being provided so much conveniences and having those women there to take care of the home as a general, the land space, the women and the children, as well as any help out there to help with the land space and cultivate so that we can have our own food, our own water, our own energy, our own housing,
Daycare, all
teaching
that.
the children, how to prepare their own food, how to
Cooking,
build a home.
knowledge, learning. Yeah.
To take away this corporation, the corporation has control over our homes. If every one of the children knew how to build a house, if they knew how to sew clothing, if they know how to make belts, make arts, everything would be made and generated from the homes. And no more light bill, no more water bill, no more food bill, no more housing, mortgage, and all that. That's it. But they want to maintain that. They want to take seeds out of the fruits to make us slaves so that we could depend on them to eat, depend on them to drink. And as the word of God says, if you want to eat, drink, or buy or sell or whatever, you have to have the mark of the beast. This is the reason why there's the mark of God, and our people will be self-sustainable. And you wouldn't have no need for war and killing and all that and cheating and people screwing each other's daughters and each other's wives. You wouldn't have no need for that nonsense.
Let me ask you a question. Did you say that the Urantia entities create this galaxy, what we call the Milky Way galaxy? Are the Urantia beings the architect of this?
No, not the rancher beings. I'm saying like for example, all force, energy, and power come from Nether Paradise. They are force organizers. They are energy transmuters and power directors. There's beings, these are beings that control this energy and make this energy behave to materialize and all these other things. All the worlds in time and space, the 700,000 universes, it is organized, it is structure, there's
No, no,
order,
I'm
there
trying
are
to,
many beings.
now I'm asking the questions that say we live in what they call the Milky Way galaxy, and we have a sun, we have what they call planets, We have forces in this universe. What was the role of the Urantia beings in this creation that we live in now? What was their role in this?
Well, when you say the Urantia beings, that's kind of confusing because the Urantia is the name of this planet.
This
You see,
planet is Urantia is
this
a
planet
planet
is called
within this Milky Way
Urantia.
galaxy.
Yes, you see. Okay, first of all, there are 100. Let's take one universe at a time. For example, one universe has, when it's fully evolved, 10 million inhabited worlds. The 10 million inhabited worlds is divided by constellations. There's a hundred constellations in one universe. And in one constellation, there are 100 systems. And in one system, there is 1,000 worlds when it's fully evolved. One system. Now imagine one system with 1,000. When Lucifer was in control, there was 607 planets. Our planet is number 606. We now have 619 planets, and there are some 200 planets that is getting ready and favorable for life implantation. Our world is a decimal planet, which means it's a life modification planet, which means that there are certain freedoms in expression with the life implantation.
Well, okay,
And,
slow
and
down
you know,
now.
life
Hold
life did
on.
not
We
life
in the
did not
science
come from
now.
the.
So, okay, let me ask you this. And I know how conditions on cells and organisms, like all that stuff is super serious. Like only certain animals, sea animals, can go down so low. Certain ones can go lower. You know, not everybody able to go to the bottom of the ocean. You got to be genetically made to pull that off. But so you're talking about the stars and all that stuff. Let me ask you this. So we know we have gas. We know we have gases, right? And on the planet, correct?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so what's holding the gases in on our planet? What is keeping our gas contained? What is keeping the gas in like here instead of just going out to the space?
No, well, you see, first of all, you must realize that there's gravity with the Earth itself,
Oh, whoa, whoa,
and
whoa! Is gravity real? How can you could
yes, gravity is real. The entire time and space creation, the seventh super universe, is going around Avona, and Avona is going around paradise. Everything come from paradise and is held in the gravity of paradise. Just like the sun, the earth is held in orbit, circling with the gravity of paradise. Sorry, of the gravity of our sun. There are many suns in our system having their own planets revolving in it. If you look up in the night sky, you will see thousands of suns. Those are solar systems. You understand? Our solar system is called Monmesha, and so all of these planets gravitating around the sun, and then there are things that gravitate around the planet, like the satellite, the moon. So
Okay,
and
hold on,
so,
slow
so
down.
all of
First
these.
off, okay, the satellites they only gravitate low. They don't even gravitate that. They don't even go that high. Okay, they're in like the second ring of us. They're not even that high up. They're nowhere near out in outer space the way they try to make it look. It's not like that. They're a little bit above airplane level.
I understand. Let's talk. You're talking about science. We can be here all night talking about the science. Then there
What
is the religion, and then there is philosophy. These are really things that no
Well,
matter how civilization come or go, you have science, religion, and philosophy.
so what do you
Because
know about
this,
stardust? Are the elements
well,
carbon, hydrogen?
I can go on. See, that's just something that we can go on through and all these things. But listen, do me a favor. Let's see. I want to keep it where it's over all these things because these are minor points within what I'm trying to relay to you, so that you can have a broader perspective coming from the source, coming right down.
If
So
they minor, I thought you would have gave me a simple answer for them.
well, I understand, Eric. I understand you, and I understand you very well. So, and I'm happy to see that you're here. And
No, that's
let
all
us
good.
I want you to really look at the Rancher book.
I'm gonna check it out, bro. I'm gonna
Yes,
check it out. I'm gonna post.
yes.
I'm gonna hop in the chat. I'm gonna drop
A,
everything I find out about it. I'm gonna check it out for sure. That's what I do. I'm
a
Professor Suki
brain,
D. I grade papers.
a brain like yours, man. Listen, if you understand and you can grasp it, Paul will be a joke to you.
You say Paul? Do you have Paul in the Bible?
Yeah, the Paul what used to kill out the Jews and
Yeah, the one that got stoned. Yeah, he
start to
is a
kill
joke
out
to
the
me.
Christians.
I've been
He
said
used
that.
to,
I don't
he
rock
used
with
to
Paul
kill
like
out.
that. He got beat
He,
up everywhere he went. They try to kill him.
he,
Everywhere Paul went, they try to kill him.
well, when I say that, when you find out the truth, nobody will be able to touch
Even
you.
Paul contradicts himself in scripture. Paul acts like he walked with Jesus. He talks about him walking with Jesus, but he didn't. He talks like he was there. He literally contradicts himself in scripture.
Well, sometimes it's also the translation and the interpretation and all these other things. So you can't blame it all on Paul. But nonetheless, go and check it out. My dinner is ready. I better go and eat before my wife get pissed off. And
That's for
the
sure,
meal is
man.
not.
Good build, man. Good build.
I love you guys, Kareem. I appreciate you. I'll be sending you a copy so that you can assist me
I
with
got my
this.
dog Jalen on here, man. He an Egyptology, mythology expert. He's just as cold as me. So we're in all mythology studies and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Jalen, man, what's good?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, nothing, bro.
Listen,
Enjoy your dinner, brother.
yeah. Yes, man. Love. I listen. I am so happy to be back here, man. I love you guys. I think we have an inseparable bond. We're bound to come together, no matter what. The cookie might crumble, and it's. Listen, I look forward to talking to you guys again, and let's continue to learn and let's help each other along the way, and let's change this world, man. Let's let's
That's a
let's
bet.
let's, let's change
Oh,
this world.
is that Christ Michael?
Yes, man. Yes, man. Much love. That's Judah.
Yeah. Hey.
How you doing, brother? How you doing, man? Good to hear you, man.
All right. Hey. I got another Messiah that calls you out today, man. He said you ain't the true Messiah. What you gonna do about that, man? He wanna have a sit down with you.
Well,
You ready for
well,
that?
y'all arrange it. Listen, I'm not gonna turn anybody down what has anything valid to say or whatever. I have no problems with that. So let them come because guess what? Listen, I come to make disciples of all humanity, and the only thing that that's gonna do is help me. You're gonna teach me, and I'm gonna teach you. And the only thing is we're gonna be strong in the process. So I
Hold up.
welcome anybody would have any kind of thing to say or whatever. Let us all be educated. Let us all learn from each other.
Yo, I
That's
got a
what this is
question,
all
you.
about.
I got a question, you.
Hold up. Hold
Got
up,
a
man.
question.
Yeah, he said he the true Messiah. You just faking the funk.
Okay, now, hey, look, hold on. Hey, Christ Michael,
Yes.
what tribe are you from?
check. I'm from the Bahamas. So
Come
they,
on
they
now.
say it's they say the
Hold on.
Bahamas
I'm
is
gonna
the,
ask
the
you one
Baham,
more
they
time.
said that the Bahamas is the tribe of Judah. But listen to me. If you talking about the tribe and all that, you need to let's go a little further because we can come right back. You
Well,
doing
that's
the
a
same
Cushite,
thing,
right?
you know. But I gotta go eat. So listen, Karima, you could
Oh
schedule it.
man.
You can schedule it, Judah. Judah, you can schedule it. You understand? At another time, and we could talk. I'm not ducking. I'm not ducking. I just gotta go and eat. I gotta respect my wife. She done slave over the food, so let me go and eat it. And listen, I love you guys, and I'd love to talk a little bit more. And I appreciate Karima you calling me and setting this up and you guys, anybody who say there's the Messiah, that's good to talk to me because when you finish with me, you will be a greater Messiah. And if you say he is God, you'll be a greater God. Whatever you are, I'll make you greater. Okay? I
Oh,
guarantee
that
you
boy
that.
say he the
Whoa,
amplifier.
whoa, whoa,
Yes.
whoa. No, one more question. What about Eric Graham? Did you want to make him one of your disciples? Because he told me you've been calling.
I
You talk,
come to make disciples of all humanity.
That ain't even what
You are
Jesus
you're
said.
either gonna be my
Jesus never
oh,
said
disciple.
that
man,
in the
hold on.
Bible.
Let him speak, please. Please, I
You're
ain't trying
gonna
to.
be with you're gonna be
Y'all
with
niggas want to hear
Michael and his
foolishness.
angels, or you're gonna be with the devil and his angels. That's the nitty gritty. As it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. You're gonna do good or you're gonna do evil. You're gonna ascend or you're gonna descend. You're gonna live or you're gonna die. You're gonna be hot or you're gonna be cold. You're gonna love me or you're gonna hate me.
Okay.
You're gonna be for me or you're gonna be against me.
You on
That's all it's
duality
gonna be.
now?
Hmm?
Hey, that's real spill.
Okay. What about that planet you say you from? What's it called? Zebedon.
Lebanon.
Nebuchadnezzar is the name of the universe. The universe has many planets here, and there are 700,000 universes in the time and space creation.
So, oh
You're
no,
right.
there they so. Wait a minute. So, are you ascending and descending to these other? I remember you told me you talked to the High Council. So these are questions I'm going to be asking in the interview. The High Council.
I represent the entire universe of Nebuchadnezzar. I am working and being a part of God Supreme. Do you realize how important you guys are? You guys are all part of God's supremacy. A human being coming from the least. Do you know that the human being is the least of the universe intelligence? And do you know that the human being have the capacity through the Spirit of God, that perfect Spirit in him,
But
to
now you're
be
getting
the
into
No, man.
relativity now. Now
No,
you're spilling into
man.
relativity.
All right. Okay. Well, one more
Hey,
question.
look, no, I need to
One more.
hear book, chapter, verse of what he talking about.
Right.
Hold
Zeus.
on,
Great.
let
One
Judah
more question before
ask
you
his
go.
other question.
Yeah.
Go
One
ahead,
more
Judah.
question. What do you think about these old Ospie guys? 'Cause they would like to have a sit down with y'all. You and your counsel from Zebedon.
I have no problems with that. I spoke with them before. I have no problems with that. I'm hoping that they have learned a little bit more now to bring a little bit more to the table. I will do whatever I can. I will learn from them, and they will learn from me. Like Eric is. So we listen. Look here. Listen to me, please. You don't know the power of unity, and when you have differences of opinion and uniting, compromising, and doing whatever is necessary to get the job done. I'm not here to puff myself up with no pride and play like I'm any better than you all. Otherwise, I'm a dead man. I have no time to play with nonsense.
Hold on now. Hold on. According to the
So,
scriptures,
Hey, Christ
Jesus
made
is
me
better than
smile.
us all, right?
Oh,
so what happens after death?
yeah, good question.
After
Yeah.
death,
I
well,
thought Jesus
remember,
was better than us all.
If your book is all that great, what happens after you die?
remember, it's your choice whether you are going to live
I'm
forever
not
or
trying to
you're
do
going to be
catch a
made
moment, bro. I'm
extinct.
trying to ask some legitimate questions, bro.
If you believe in me,
Wait,
you
wait.
will live. If you do not believe in me, see, because I am the truth, because I live the truth. You see, and so when you know you live the truth, any one of you, if you know you live in the truth, and you talk in the truth, and you know you walk in the truth, and people don't want to believe in you, you know they dead already.
And what's
You
the
know they
truth?
dead already.
What's
Okay.
the truth?
I am the truth.
That's right. Are you Mikael, or what's the difference between you and Jesus? Because you
The
say you
difference between
Mikael.
the difference between myself and Jesus is that Moses was a man, Jesus was a man, I am a
That's
man.
totally
Moses
irrelevant,
was
man.
talking the spirit. Moses was talking with the spirit of Michael of Nebadon, the word
Uh,
of God from paradise. That
uh,
was with Moses. The word of God from paradise, Michael of Nebadon, was
yeah.
with Jesus, but it was manifested in flesh. It was God incarnate. Now, Michael of Nebadon is incarnate in this Son of Man. But this Son of Man was born a slut. This Son of Man, I, yeah, you could call me little Jesus. You're right. Um, thank you.
All right, we got to
So
continue. We got to continue this interview because I missed out on this, boy.
no,
I
man.
was dealing
Hey,
with the
look,
other.
hold on.
Yeah,
The
go ahead.
reason why niggas keep saying the same stupid shit that they do is because it keeps like, look, no, we got to continue this. No, end it right here.
Yeah.
No, Super Bear.
Let's continue. Let me go eat now. Let me go eat. All right.
What
I
No,
love you
man.
guys,
what
and
do
I
a
He
look
about to go
Messiah
forward.
eat?
eat. He
What
about
Just
to
do a
go
you're
eat some
gonna.
Messiah eat?
shrimps. He about to go eat some shrimp.
Ah, man, come
I ain't gonna eat no shrimp.
on. All right, Messiah. Hey, now listen. The other Messiah fell on his own sword. I hope you don't, get in front of us and get to cutting up because he put on a
Well,
bad example. You might have to talk to him, but he did call you and y'all Judah out. So we got to have who is the real Messiah. You
no
know.
problem. Well, guess what? If anyone say they're the Messiah, anyone who say they are gods, after speaking with me, they will know they become greater gods and greater messiahs.
Well,
Mm.
what determines if you are the Christ? What determines that? Are you the absolute
What
truth?
determines that?
Are you the
What
absolute
did,
truth?
When you hear me, you hear the Spirit of God. I am one with my spirit. And
I'm
that
saying,
is
but
what's the difference.
are you the absolute truth?
Feel that.
Well, unless you are the absolute truth, you cannot be.
You know,
Because
Yes.
unless you
Are
supposed to
you
say
that?
yes.
Hey
Are
man,
you
y'all
the
ain't ready
absolute
for Christ
truth?
Michael, man. Y'all ain't
the
ready for the guy.
absolute truth, absolutely in flesh. The
Okay.
absolute truth, absolutely in flesh. And to say that I am not the absolute truth is saying that my spirit is not the absolute truth. See,
And
because when
so
you hear me,
then,
you hear the
if
word
you
Hey,
of my
hold
are
on,
the
spirit.
hold on, hold
absolute
on.
truth,
He
Hey, can
real
somebody,
philosophical
hey,
now.
Christ Michael,
Yes,
can you show
yes.
me the scripture where it says Christ was bold on top with a rat tail in the back? Please show me, man.
Hey man, this is the 2024 Christ.
Anyway.
Look, he can't do it, man. So you know what I'm saying? Now my shit got scalped through the clouds when I came back, right?
Right. Hey man,
All
hey,
right.
he
So,
been part of
gentlemen,
the Lions Den family for a couple years. Now we love you, Christ, man. You know what I'm saying? I
all
might
right, I
not
love you guys,
Hey, he
man.
speaking
look,
for
look,
his
look, look.
goddamn self, man. I
I
don't
might
know.
not
And
I might not follow your doctrine, but you always welcome, man.
well, in the end, you will follow or you will be against me. In the end,
Okay,
believe me, you're gonna come out and say that not guy is nothing but a fake.
no doubt,
Or you're
no
gonna
doubt,
say Christ my
no
God
doubt.
is real.
You hear that? Zerubbabel,
No,
Zerubbabel,
I'm a
you
fake,
one of his students. See?
huh?
You
So,
used to be
gentlemen,
one you used
ladies,
to be one of his students. You were a new, didn't you? Was it just a new?
I don't know
You don't
well,
who the
remember?
fuck you talking about right now.
it's gonna take a lot of
Hold
crushing
on,
of the
hey, Christ
pride to
Michael,
follow
hey, you
me.
need to bow down, go back, be the Benjamite that you really are. How the fuck Benjamin gonna want to be Christ? Is that in the Bible? No,
Well,
nigga.
Listen, I gotta
Christ said
go.
that
I gotta
they were
go,
all right,
gentlemen,
Christ,
ladies. I
man.
don't want
Yeah.
to hang up on nobody, but listen, I love you
Yeah,
guys. I
boy.
appreciate being
I
here.
love you too.
Karima, we'll be in touch as far as this book is concerned and all that. And I'm sure you will coordinate whatever you all need to coordinate for me to speak to anybody. Okay?
What
Much
Consu say
love.
about it? All
Don't take
right,
it
Christ.
personally, man. It's just righteous
Love,
judgment, man.
Yeah,
love
there
you
you go.
guys. That's
I
right.
did
Right.
my
Right.
thing, sir.
Love
The
you
Consu
guys,
we can
man.
talk to? All right, Christ, Mike. I've been speaking you up. All
Much
right,
love.
ladies and
Much
gentlemen.
love.
Like I
Much.
said, there's a bunch of guys that's, saying they Messiah. We got to figure
Hey,
out who
hey,
the
hey.
right one. That's all we got to
But
do.
you
Because many
already
of them
know.
come in
You
the name.
already know. You already know that there's none beside me.
You
You
just said
already
it was
know
Hey,
that
someone.
I
Christ
can
Michael.
none
You see?
I can
Hey,
point
please
myself
show me
out.
where
Hey,
I can
Jesus
Joe.
be
validate
shopping
myself
in
out.
Walmart, man. When the fuck that shit
Hey,
start happening, yo? Niggas is
Listen,
out
no,
here,
there's
man.
none, no anybody who
I
come and
need to
say that
go
they're
on
Messiah,
mute,
like I
yo.
tell you, let them come and
And
meet me.
Walmart
They'll be
back
all
there.
right.
Bro. Leave him alone.
Much
Leave him.
love,
Nah, fuck
guys.
all
Much
that,
love.
yo.
Much love. Much love.
All right, love you,
hey,
Christ. Hey,
I
man,
have a
Always,
rebuttal
always.
to Christ Michael.
he got to go eat, man. He got to take one piece of bread and feed many. Leave him alone. Leave him alone.
That's fine. Hey,
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 as
It
a
ain't
matter of
no
fact,
Ezekiel
I
bread.
want to record that eating. I want to see you do one of the miracles. God dang it! You just I like Christ though, man. He different. You know. Hey, at least he didn't cuss us out today, right? Did he? He didn't do that. Last time he cussed us all out. What's up, Kansu? Where you at, bro? Are you just hanging out? You at work? Pablo Bay, go ahead. We live, man. Advertise your debate coming up Sunday. Speak on.
Got a debate coming up against Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be a good debate. We're gonna talk about which Messiah, story is the best for the people, or whoever got the best story. But it's gonna be interesting, man. Everybody, check it out this Sunday.
What
this
book is
Sunday.
he? What book is he coming out of? Follow.
He's using the Quran, and I'm using the scriptures.
Okay, that's what I want you to tell the audience. Yeah, this Sunday, 9 p. Was it 9? 7? Was it 7 p.m. Eastern? Right? Yeah, 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Look out for these two young debaters, man. Both of them pretty dynamic.
I
Both of
got a
them
question.
pretty headstrong. Everybody's subscribe to Lions Den JJ7K TV to watch the show. Go ahead, Zerubbabel.
Yeah. Hey, Apollo, brother Apollo, shalom to you, brother. Hey, what's the first scripture you think you're gonna bring up?
You said the first scripture I'm gonna bring up.
That's exactly what I said, bro.
Uh, I mean, not to really give out my game plan all like that, but he's
Nah,
gonna have
you
to
know,
deal with
it's about
Matthew.
200 scriptures you could bring out to win that debate, but I just said the one.
Yeah, I'm saying he's gonna have to deal with Matthew's 24. That's where he definitely gonna have to deal with that.
All right. All
He
right.
brought that out today on the other. Now, Apollo, what do you think about that other Messiah we had today on the Lions Den? What do you think about him?
You mean the one we was talking to on the last?
Yeah. What do you think?
Oh man,
Can he hold up
he's
to
definitely
Christ
he's
Michael though?
crazy.
Can he hold up
Oh,
to
you mean
Christ Michael?
Michael? I ain't really hear. I came on late, but he sounded like he had a little bit of sense. The other
Yeah.
he wasn't talking like him.
Nah, Christ Michael, he tear him up, man.
Well, who was the other person? Who was the other person?
The high priest. What was his name? But he said he was the one. Kareem, what's his name? High priest. I had him on the line. He used to go by the name of Music. High priest.
Music. I think
I know
we had a
Music,
discussion
right?
with him before.
Yeah.
We had a discussion with him before.
Right. He got a new name.
He got rebuked twice in one day, man. Baby Hebrew rebuked him. Karina rebuked him. I'm like, come on, man. Everybody's saying this demon on you.
Apostle went in on him.
Apostle, I mean, people, it's on his ass, man.
Yeah. Oh, you and him did talk? No, that's good, man. But he cussed everybody out, man. He cussed us all out.
Niggas out.
Yeah, call us B's and F us, and I mean it was.
Well, y'all know Jesus did have to turn over a table at one time when he went in the temple. Y'all made him turn over the table.
I did bring that up. Yeah, I did.
Yo, there was an exorcism. Y'all guys, there was an exorcism that went down.
Yeah. I just think if I rank all three of the Messiahs, I say it's Christ Michael, then it's Jaju Judah, and then the other. But he called out both of them, so I mean I don't think he can hold up. I don't think he can hold up against them two. But we'll see, Who did? Music? Yeah. 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 But yeah, I mean it was an interesting show today. I mean, everybody, I put it like this, we may not all agree, but at least at the Lions here, we give you a chance to speak. Now when you open up the flow, when you open up the panel, hey, you on your own, bro. I mean, we let the lionesses out. You can't say we didn't give you the floor to get your spill off. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do over here. Yeah,
I appreciate that about the Lions Den.
Right. We don't get in the way. I mean, I ain't getting in the way of none of that. I don't agree with a lot of shit. A lot of that stuff's come out by the Lions Den. Y'all probably don't agree with me all the time. But it's equal. Somebody will say, right. Damn, dude, we sure don't get it. We'll put the emphasis on this. But anyway, yeah, man. But I just like how we've always been like that. We set it up to a person come on, do their thing, and then after that, hey, if they ain't agreeing with you, they gonna come. They coming for you. Yep. Yeah. I ain't lying. Yeah, them too. The system was on his neck too. But hey, you know what? What the thing is? It was people from West Africa that was watching, and then they was from West Africa. Then we had people from East Africa watching. So that's a good thing that we can reach people all over the world.
They were watching when Music was talking. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, he had his people watching. Had a couple of them in the audience. Had one on stage with him. He got a follower out there and got dang on West Africa, Gambia. Yeah.
Is that where he lived at?
Yeah, he in Gambia. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He's the one that says, "Let's play, right? Let's play, let's play."
I like, well, let's pray for us. He said, "No, let's play."
Yeah, let's
But
play, let's play. What you
I
got? What
think
you got? Let's play.
I think he was in debate mode though. That's what I was thinking. You know, but yeah, he got bit up in the Lions, man. I don't know if he might not come back for another year. Shit, the way he got beat up, I mean, it was bad. It was bad, you know. But yeah, man, that's what we do, man. And I appreciate all y'all going live, putting out the information, or putting the discussion together or debate. You know, there's one thing I ain't gonna get in the way of none of that. If I'm hosting, moderating, now I'm gonna moderate, you know, it's kind of, hey, come on, y'all, chill. Then I got to mute a person, but then I try to mute both people who's talking so they don't be like, oh, why you mute him and not me? You know, I suffered through that before with somebody think I ain't being fair with that. So I just wish we just got to learn to, you know, let the other person finish his little spiel. Then we come in. Because trust me, when I be on other platforms, I go through that shit all the time. So I be having empathy for people who be getting interrupted. I know how I feel. You want to get your spill on. Yo. And, you know, people come in and then somebody else will come in. A lot of that stuff on other platforms, it be a diversion, you know, because they don't want you to get your truth out.
Yeah, why wouldn't we set up something that just say if you have a lot of people on the platform that want to speak, you give a person like a minute and a half of uninterrupted speech.
Who is that, Darren McDay?
That person, huh?
That's Darren McDay?
Correct. Yes, sir. What's happening,
brother?
brother?
All right.
What's happening, King?
All right.
Yeah, just give a person 1.5 or 2 minutes of uninterrupted speech, then it goes to the next person.
Yeah, we can start doing stuff like that. Now, when you run around talking about you was a Messiah too at one point, that wasn't you.
That was me. That was me.
Oh, I told you. There's so many goddamn Messiahs, y'all.
No. My position was I believe I have a particular.
Apollo, break out that Matthew 24 over again.
No. What I believe all of us have an element of Christ within us that we have the capacity of rising up to be that person.
I told you.
Why do y'all gotta be the Messiah? Say y'all the Messiah. Why can't y'all just be who y'all is?
Now, because the way I understand it is, Christ came to make all of us Messiahs. He came to do that. That was He came to make us in His image and after His likeness.
Okay.
If that was His objective, then our potential is to be that.
Teach Daryl McDay. Hey, Apollo, you ain't ready for this guy, man. You better just tread lightly. I'm just trying to let you know what you're dealing with. Go ahead, Daryl McDay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I get that aspect. Everybody want to be Christ-like, right?
Yeah.
But you don't gotta say you are Christ.
Right.
That's something different. Saying you Christ-like. Everybody wants to be Christ-like.
Everybody have a piece of the anointing spirit.
Well, what happened? This is what I understand Jesus. This is what I understand Jesus to understand it like this. He understand that He became so in oneness with the source that when He was speaking, it was the source speaking through Him. It's just like right now. I don't have the ability to heal anybody, but if that energy comes over me and my hand is going forward, at that point in time, that's not my hand. That is in the hand of God. If I'm writing something and I'm in the spirit, that's not me writing. That's the spirit writing through me. And then if somebody was saying, they would say, then the hand of God now wrote this. That's the capacity that the human being have. Human beings have the capacity to be in full oneness with the source. And once they come out of that, now here's the problem that they make. You can come out of that oneness and then go back to being who you were. But you have that ability to be one with God. And that's what Jesus was trying to make us understand. He said, when you see me, you're looking at God. And He came then to establish what I call the Christ priesthood, or the Son of God priesthood. So, and now the thing about it, once that is the collection of the sons of God, I believe then they will build what's called the new kingdom, the kingdom of God.
So, okay, now what do you think about these other messiahs? So you say all of us could be messiahs. potential.
I think we all have that potential. I think when one son gets with another son, and this son gets with that son, then we come together and build what's called the kingdom of God. I believe this universe was built by people who understood that reality. You have that. It's like electricity going through a wire. When that electricity goes through that wire will do something that it will do if the electricity is not going through it. But when that spirit is coming through you, you have the ability to heal, you have the ability to walk on water, you have the ability to call universe into existence when that spirit is coming through you. And once we realize that's our potential by us being black was a perfect absorber of light. That's what made us the gods.
I ain't gonna say water though.
Somebody speaking?
Did the church say amen?
Yeah, I guess. All right, so my final question. So what happens? I mean, so when Christ come back, do all the messiahs work with him, or I mean?
Well, I think we will be in. I think we have an attunement, and each person will bring their gift to the table. I think that's what he was going to do, because if you look at what Christ did when he walked on water, he didn't just want to keep the gift to himself. He wanted Peter to do it also. Peter had the potential, but he needed somebody. He needed a medium to wake that potential up in him. And so he understood that. He also understood this: as long as I'm here in the flesh with you, you won't try to raise the dead yourself. As long as I'm in the flesh with you, you won't try to give sight to the blind yourself. So he came to let them know what their potential was. Then he steps out of the way and goes to a place. He said, now you call on me, and I'm going to then bestow the power on you in my name, in my nature. So when I hear somebody saying that, I want to ask them, what do they mean when they say that? Because once again, we all have that potential. Now here's the thing. Most people are saying that they won't worship though. Jesus was saying, even though you see me doing it, it's still a source working through me. You only give the worship to what we call this invisible source. Because human beings can get into that particular mindset that they are the source rather than recognize that the source is just working through me at this particular point in time. And that's the way it's saying where you have sons of God, you have what's called the sons of perdition or the sons of the Antichrist. They become the mediums by which a negative entity can work through them. And they set up kingdoms on this earth. So you see the wicked stuff when you see the wicked stuff in this world, it's these beings that allow that spirit to come through them and set up what we would call kingdoms on the earth.
So, so how do you messiahs? Basically, a messiah means anointed, right? So,
correct.
Who anointed you? That'd be a good question.
Who anointed us? That is an intelligence that is beyond our comprehension. We become vessels that can receive a portion based on how clean you live and how, what I would say, upright you live. That determines your capacity to hold more of the anointing. Just say, if I'm not stealing, I'm not trying to con nobody, to the degree that I live a holy life, is to that degree that I expand myself to hold more of that spirit that is incomprehensible. Then when I do it, I don't say Daryl did it. I say it did it through me. That was the language of Christ used. He understood that he was a son of God. He understood there was a source working through him, but he never wanted anybody to see him as God. He wanted them to see him as the son of God.
Okay, now there are some who say that he is the same as the Most High Creator. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, that's just like saying steam and ice is the same thing.
That's two different things, though.
Yes, two different things. One is vibrate at a higher frequency than the other, but you still recognize that when I'm one with it, I am that. It's like by me working with power line. If I touch a power line, the energy that's going through that wire now comes through me. And if you touch me at that time, I normally wouldn't kill you. But if you touch me at the time when that energy is coming through me, at that point in time, you get shocked too. So that's what they mean by oneness, because right now, I'm in tune to it, and by me being in tune to it, then when you hear me speaking, at that point in time, it's speaking through me. That's what they mean in that oneness right there.
All right, this is Messiah week on the Lions. Then you got time to come on the big stage in about 30 minutes?
You talking about me?
I'm talking about the Messiah. Yeah, Daryl.
No, I'm saying all of us are Messiah. I'm saying we have Messiah potential. That's my position.
Okay. I mean, you want to come and
all have them, and that's what I try to get you to wake up to, that we all have Messiah potential.
Messiah potential.
And,
okay.
and that's what I saw Jesus trying. When he had these 12 people following, he said, I'm giving you power to do this, this, and this. So they weren't doing it in their own power, they're now about to do it in the power of the Father that he's about to teach them about.
Hey, I done went to the store. I left my damn on food in the oven. I got to call home real quick. I'll be right back. Come take my damn. I'm tripping. All right, yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Look, I just wanted to say this. I don't have no problem with what you're saying, except for one part. And that's like when I said that, when you say that you're the Messiah, if you say that we all got the Messiah in us, and that's back to what I was saying, like Christ-like, like everybody strives to be Christ-like, right? Because then you want to be in the one with God, like what you was talking about. You know what I'm saying? But when you say that you are the Christ, like there's enough room out here for you to be you and be oneness with God and still be Jesus or Yeshua. He could still be him.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
we don't gotta be him. We could be like him. See what I'm trying to say, brother?
Oh, and that's what I say. What I say is that I am a son of God, and I'm looking for these sons of God, because I recognize that son is a title. Come from a Middle English word.
I said I'm rocking with you. I said when you said that, I said I'm rocking with everything you said except the part when you said that you was the Messiah.
I didn't say I was the Messiah.
Other than that part, when you're saying everything that you're saying, that's what you're supposed to be doing, right? Everything that you're saying, a person is supposed to be doing, right?
That's what I believe, yes.
Right.
No, but I'm saying, that
when we do it, we could be us. Like you could be you, I could be me, right? We could both be doing the same thing, right? Both being Christ-like. And I'm saying Yeshua could still be him, while we all being on that same level. We could be who we are without trying to be somebody else. So you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm agreeing with that, and that's my position. Because if you look in the Bible, where I think it's Mark 9:38, where the disciples saw somebody, according to the book, casting out devils, and according to the book, he didn't follow this. He wasn't following in that clique that the disciples thought that he should follow. He wasn't following Christ. And the disciples said, Master, we saw one casting out devils in your nature, in your name, and he didn't follow us. And the disciples said, we want to stop him, modern day translation. And Jesus said, no, don't stop him. If he's using the power, then he is a part of us. You just are not mature enough in your own evolutionary understanding. Understand that the spirit is not just
one
delegate. The spirit is not limited to just people who speak this particular tribe language.
Right.
And so that's what he was trying to get his disciple, because the disciple, he understood that they weren't mature in certain areas. So he takes them and starts nurturing them so they can then be like him. Because once again, once they understand and start just totally relying on him, they say, if they see a dead person and Jesus got the power, but it hadn't awakened in them, they're going to go, let's go get Jesus for this. Just say you got 5,000 people that need to be fed, and you got 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread, they're going to go always get Jesus. Jesus understood, it's like a gas in a bottle. Jesus understood that I'm trying to get you to understand that the source that I came from sent me to wake you up, to let you know that it's your father too. And even though I am the example, you're going to do greater work than I do. So if he's my father, he's also your father. Once you understand the relationship, then he'll bestow upon you the same measure of power and even greater power that he gave me.
Correct. I told you, brother. I don't got no problem with you. What you saying? Only thing we had a misunderstanding on you saying that you. I thought you were saying that you was like the Messiah, like you
No,
are.
no,
Like
no.
I understand when you saying the
JJ
quality.
said that, and I just kind of chimed in with JJ.
Yeah,
JJ said that, but I'm saying we
no doubt.
all have that potential. And I'm saying when Jesus was saying it, I understood what he was saying. He was saying that I am the Son of God, and by me being one with the source, even though the source is of if I were to use energy, for example, the source is a incomprehensible power. You can't come. I mean, if I were to tell you something that's moving 1,000,000,000 miles in a trillionth of a second, then I tell you 1,000,000,000 miles in a gillionth of a second, you can't comprehend until you scale it down. So you scale it down to a comprehensible level. Then it gives us a glimpse of what God is, even though we still don't have the full magnitude, don't have the full ability to comprehend that. But we at least bring it to a level where we can comprehend it. So
Right.
once we understand that that source is that, then we recognize that that source can make deposits within our own ability, within our own capability, based on us living what's called a holy life. See, that is a reward that you should get when you try to live right. When you try not to steal, you try not to kill, you try not to lie. That's a reward you get, and that reward is that I will absorb more of the spirit than somebody else. It's like in the electrical world, based on the size of the wire, that determines how much electrical current it can have. If I have what's called number 6 wire versus number 2 wire, number 2 wire is going to have the capacity to carry more current. And that's the reason, once again, we try to live a holy life so that we could be the conductor that carry more spirit than somebody else.
Hey, I feel you. I'm an electrician. I went to school for it. So when you talk,
Okay, well, you follow me on that. Oh, yeah, okay.
like I said, I feel what you're saying. You're saying all the right stuff as far as how somebody's supposed to be living, the direction you're supposed to be going, you know what I'm saying, and who you supposed to be in one with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So I ain't got no problem with what you're saying.
but I think the thing that they leave out is that once you get to that point that you're living like that, then it becomes the challenge of establishing a kingdom. And that will be what's called the kingdom of God. It will be people establishing the kingdom, but it will be God working through them to build the kingdom. So I think that's where a lot of people stop at. What is the final goal for me becoming Christ-like? To then establish the kingdom that the Bible talks about would come. And so if I understand that I got a potential, if I have a particular measure of Christ, and you have a particular measure, we get together, you find that, because once you understand who you are with Christ, you're going to know what your purpose of being born is. I know what my purpose of being born. Probably 95% of people don't know what their purpose is. So this is a world that does not even bring us to an understanding how to cultivate the God within us. And that's one of the things that God does. He cultivates a mind in us so we start to know who we are and we start to understand what our purpose is.
True.
Okay, so I'll leave it right there.
Ain't got no problem with what you talking about. I don't mind.
Okay. Well, that's my position in understanding how I understand it. But I think one of the things that once we become Christ-like, one of the things that Christ did according to the Bible said, so why are you here, Christ? He said, I come to destroy the works of the devil. That's one of the things we have to understand, is that when we understand that we are now to be Christ-like, our assignment then is to destroy the works of the devil. But we have to understand what the works of the devil look like. One of the things that Satan has to do is make sure that we, first of all, spin on the axis of lies. And that's the first thing we start trying to do, is extricate ourselves from the wrong perception of a lot of this world's interpretation of things. So that we then spin on the axis of truth. And once we spin on the axis, this is what I believe. Once we spin on the axis of truth, I believe the universe itself will reverse, no, not the universe, the earth itself will reverse its rotation. I think based on our consciousness, I think our consciousness has a direct effect on the planetary spin.
Wait a minute, man. Hold up. Wait.
Oh, I can say that again. It's what's called induction.
Hell did I just walk into?
It's called induction. Induction meaning that if you have a gas heater on inside of your house, you have to be close enough to the heater to feel the heat. Once we get close enough to God, then that spirit steps in us. And I think once the spirit steps in us, we start to then spin on a different type of axis, the axis of truth.
Well,
because they have already documented.
Yeah, hold up. Well, we have to be all on one accord, and that would never happen, and not in this lifetime, because there's too many goddamn wicked ass niggas is out here hating and lying and deceiving people, and hate to see somebody else come up because they got a miserable life. That would never happen.
I'm gonna show you how it would happen.
Okay, go ahead.
See, it's what's called collective consciousness. When you have enough people in just a group, you don't have to affect everybody. You just have to have enough people in the small group to then influence the big group. Let's say if there's 144,000 of us that understand the truth and we really understand it, that little small, it's what's called a morphic field. Once it's what's called a morphic field. A morphic field means that, first of all, that 144,000 create the template for the other to plug in, and they'll start changing their behavior, and they won't know why. It's what they call the 100 monkey phenomenon. It worked like this. They were trying to teach these particular monkeys a particular behavior. So they say once the first monkey got it, the second monkey got it, the third monkey got it, then the 99th monkey got it. Then once the 100th monkey got it, they then found out that monkeys of that same species around the planet start mimicking a behavior, and they didn't know why. It's what's called the 100 monkey phenomenon.
Once again, I know what you're talking about, but you're talking like when animals leave because the weather's bad. They know to leave ahead of time.
I'm talking about what's called a collective consciousness. I'm saying, no, what I'm talking about is
animals are consciously tuned in.
That's what I'm saying. So once that small group creates the template,
we all got the same. It's all the same start. It's all the same elements. Nothing's different. Everything's the same.
No, I'm not saying it's different, but JJ was saying we couldn't do it. You don't have to get everybody. What I'm saying, you just have to get a core group of people who understand the truth. And once that core group gets the truth, they'll then affect the masses, and they won't know why they're being affected. That's what I'm saying.
You don't have to get everybody praying, though. You had the masses. Everybody been praying forever. Like, what are you saying?
Hold on, let me ask you a question.
What I'm saying that there was a time period where certain truths were to be arrested and to be hibernated and not on the scene. It's certain truths that's on the scene now, and if we get those truths and start spinning on that axis, we will change reality as we know it.
Okay, so what are some of these truths we need to work on?
What are some of the truths? Well, the truth I try to get us to work on.
To get the world to spin the other opposite direction.
Okay, the truth that I try to get us to work on is understand that the blackness throughout the universe is actually light. And the reason I'm going to say that because we live in a value-based culture. Anytime we understand the value of something, it makes us have a different attitude toward it. Black people have an attitude toward themselves because we perceive ourselves from a European understanding. We don't perceive black as a form of light, but the scientists really understand what this black energy is. But all of us now spin on that axis of seeing it as darkness. Once we just change our understanding of that reality, that in turn will be the foundation that brings so many other truths into existence.
Okay, slow down. Where does black matter start at? Where exactly does the matter begin in the atmosphere, and then where does it end at?
No, I'm talking about black energy. Before it becomes matter, it has to become energy first. It's
Everything
just blackness throughout the universe.
Everything is matter. It's all matter. Everything is matter, correct?
No, matter is the solidified state of energy.
No, you're talking about solid. You're talking about solids, but everything is gas. Everything is a molecule.
One of the things we have to do, we have to make sure that one of the things we have to do is make sure we redefine. Because what happens when we step into a European philosophy, they use one thing Neely Fuller said. One of the number one weapons of white supremacy is confusion.
Yeah,
So
they hide it
once
in your
we
face though.
start,
You gotta know how to decipher that.
huh?
And so you got to know how to decipher that. You got like, okay, let me let you in on a little on a little theory, a little some information. So the Geneva Bible has black Moors in it, and it was banned by the KJV by King James. So if the Geneva Bible was never banned, black Moors would be the forefront of history. Black Moors would be everything that we study. Black Moors would be all biblical. Black Moors would be known globally as everything else in Christianity. But because King James banned the Geneva Bible, y'all don't have black Moors. We literally have a black Moors distinction description for people, but they banned that book. King James did. You can still get that book, but it's banned. And that's why
So,
we're so lost. That's why people don't know who they really are. They don't know who their true people are. They don't know their real heritage because they hid it in your face. Like it's there, but you got to dig through the information.
I guess
uh,
I'm trying to find how does that tie into what I'm saying.
damn, got me stumbling over here. Okay,
I'm dropping
so
facts only.
wait a minute. So how many books is in this Geneva Bible? And what year did you say it come out?
15.99. I believe we have all the books.
How many books is that?
I don't know how many. I ain't keep up. I only mess
So
with it for the Black Moors.
so what about the Ethiopian Bible? That's older. Why don't you
Well,
deal
the
with that one?
Ethiopian Bible, the thing about the Ethiopian Bible is, I mean, their numbers are different for one. I mean, they're in a totally different celestial time schedule. They're not even in the same year as us. But they wasn't conquered though. Like, and they picked up Christianity on their own. They didn't really convert or nothing, or they wasn't by the sword. They just picked it up on their own, and they was never conquered. And they've had it forever. You know, like you got the buildings, all that stuff is all in Ethiopia.
Okay.
I
I'm
mean, your
sorry.
Ethiopian Bible is gonna have great illustrations, but I mean, even the Ethiopian Bible, like Tertullian, he was the one that gave Trinity and whatnot. He gave him the Trinity word. He's black. He was an Ethiopian. So, and then not to mention, if you really get to dig in, they're gonna talk about the Coptic language, and then they talk about how Latin was supposed to be like the bougie language or whatnot back then. And what, but yeah, that's just all little ancient history stuff. Y'all dig up in it. Look around 1400 BC when
Mm-hmm.
Christianity was doing a whole lot of invading and asking people if they wanted to convert and all that good stuff.
Okay.
Well, I
Uh,
believe when
what?
once we come to a certain consciousness, we'll put books like that down because everything is really energy and vibration. If you pass by what's called a pecan tree right now we don't really know what to call that particular concept, but it has a vibration. I believe the ancestors prior to us picked up on the essence of everything and create. And when you can get on the frequency of a thing, you can then wield the thing.
You talking
See, if
about
I'm
like the
calling
hertz and
it,
vibrations. You talking about like the hertz frequency.
exactly. Everything has a frequency. So when Christ said that you can speak to the mountain, that you call it a mountain, and that's not the actual sound, a particular sound that resonates with that particular object, then you can be saying it all you want. You have to be able to pick up what's called the vibration. It's like if I don't know JJ's name and I'm calling him Willie or Bob, I can never have JJ do A, B, and C. Once you pick up on the vibration of a thing, then you can synchronize and resonate with the thing, and then you can command the thing. And that's what I believe this black energy or this black essence that we had allowed us to interface with everything in creation. That's when they had to demonize so that we would not ever start turning back to it to start trying to command creation again. That's our
Well,
potential.
okay, slow down. Okay. Now, all right. Now, I kind of feel what you're talking. You're talking about like grounding, walking on the earth, walking on the grass, getting the energy from the earth, wearing no clothes, being shirtless, absorbing the energy from the sun. That's what the Egyptians did. I feel you on that. Are you talking about chakras too or not?
Am I talking about what?
Chakra? Are you talking about chakra stones, chakra energy?
No. I'm saying understand what
The
our
seven
potential is.
chakras?
No. What I'm saying is our potential is to reach the highest level of being Christ. And when you reach the highest level of being Christ, you don't use the books that y'all are talking about. At that point in time, creation itself becomes the book. Creation starts speaking because all the books that we're talking about, these people had to get these books from somewhere. Now, once we start walking walking as Christ, once again, if you walk by a tree, that tree has the ability to communicate something to you, but we just can't hear that level of hearing anymore. That's what it meant to be a son of God, that you heard at the highest level. You heard light, and everything has some measure of light in it.
Yeah,
A cat, for example, has a measure of light in it, but we can't hear the light from the cat. We can't hear the light from the tree. We can hear the light from a rock. If you could hear that and utter that sound, you then could command and will that object by the power of God working through you to come into.
Slow down now. Okay, slow down. All right. First off, cats have the same eyes as snakes. Cats
No,
and snakes have the same eyes.
I'm talking about the vibration of that thing that we call a cat.
Okay, now how is your vibration and your frequency going to be strong if you're not even messing with your 7 chakras?
How you freaking? No, I'm saying living a holy life is what allows us to vibrate at the frequency of God. When you start trying to live right, every time you get sin out of your life, at that point you come into another degree of living like God made us in the beginning. Every time somebody gets sin or wrong information on the inside of us, that is the thing that separates us from God. Sin separates us from God. So the thing
slow down. Okay, let me ask you something. So it's 2024. We're talking about a super old book. Now let me ask you: is that book primitive? Would you call that book, the Bible, primitive, or would you say it's still valid?
Oh, the Bible is valid.
It's like, okay, I'll put it to you like this. Say we in first grade, you into college now. Are you still gonna keep the book you have from first grade?
Yeah, well, once you understand what the book is designed to do, you'll keep it. Because
why would you still need that book? When have you ever kept a book?
I'm going to tell you why, because you haven't unlocked all the secrets in the book. The Bible, this is the way science works. If you give science some particular object, they'll write a mathematical formula to correspond with the object. The Bible is a collection.
It's all numbers.
Huh?
I said it's all numbers. Yeah, you definitely got it. It's all computer digital coding.
That's what I'm saying. Our ancestors took truth and they wrapped stories around certain truths. And at an appointed time, then a greater understanding of the story would start unlocking itself. And the truth within that story would then come into you to make you more Christ-like. The Bible is a collection of its allegories, metaphors, some of it's literal, and to the degree that you live right, it's to that degree that the Bible reveals its secrets to us. The Bible has never truly been exhausted in terms of unlocking the deeper, what's called a metaphysical understanding of the Bible. The Bible unfolded itself in different levels. One level of the Bible was to put us at a level where we were just to be at a level of comfort and peace. The unfolding of the Bible at this stage is designed to empower us to build the kingdom of God. If you're not extracting that level of understanding of the Bible, then you still have that level of understanding that you just talked about. The Bible is to empower you now to be a reflection of Christ.
The Bible
That's what it's supposed to do. Every time you read the Bible with the objective, is what I'm reading now making me more Christ-like? Am I extracting that level of understanding out of what I just read?
Isn't the Bible strictly morally? Isn't it supposed to be moral, the Bible?
The Bible has multi-levels of doing certain things.
Now, if you do mess with the Bible, and if y'all ever went to college, I went to college for psychology and sociology. So I know when I do fool with the Bible, I know it's deep psychology, deep manipulation, deep sociology. Okay, all those things are in it. But then again, that's all philosophy also. So when you're talking about philosophy, who are the first philosophers?
Who are the first philosophers?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I don't understand your question. The objective of the philosophy.
All right, okay. Before we knew what intelligent conversation was, you know what I'm saying? And we had books and whatnot. We needed philosophers to write these books so we can learn what it's like to sit down and talk about a conversation or have a topic or have a subject. You need a philosopher, people that major in philosophy, people that are able to write books to educate the civilization.
But what the philosopher,
Right,
what
correct,
you have to
right.
do then, what you have to do then is believe that the philosopher now had the right interpretation of what they're saying. Because this is what it is. Philosophy should be creation properly interpreted. That's what truth is. Truth
Nah,
is
whoa, slow
reality
down.
properly
No,
defined.
no, that's we're talking about a direct translation. That's how you properly do it. If you don't have a direct translation, all you have is interpretation. And if you have interpretation, you just got what some man made, what some dude filled in and gave
That's what I
away.
just said. That's what I just said. I say the true philosopher looks at creation and interprets it properly. Then he gives the society the proper interpretation of what creation, because everybody can't hear. So if that was at one time you didn't need a philosopher.
No,
The
a group
philosopher
of
comes
people.
along, huh?
I said a group of people did this. It ain't like this one person. They
No,
sat
no,
out in
no.
the
At
room
one
and
time
hashed
you
this
didn't
out.
need philosophy. Okay, if you look at dogs, for example, because all dogs had the capacity of tuning in themselves. No dog had to come along and get the other dogs to understand, how to go and smell the right herb when they're sick. That was a time when we all were in tune. And as we were in tune, we didn't need the philosophy. When people lose their ability to hear, then you need the philosophy to tell you what this means. But then you rely on the philosophy to give you the right interpretation of what they perceive reality to be. Once again, if you were looking at the blackness throughout the universe and you start describing, start defining it, and I'm now relying on your interpretation to be the proper interpretation. But if you misdefine it, then everybody that follows your lead now spin on an improper axis.
So what does that say for the Bibles that are altered?
Well, the Bible was to be dormant for a season. The Bible said this. It said there will be a time when Satan would rule. The only way Satan could rule is that the true sons of God be in what's called a sleep state. The only way you can have a weaker force ruling, you must have the dominant force sleep or rest or powers arrested. So the Bible had predicted that the sons of God would be asleep at a particular time, but it also predicted there will be an awakening of the sons of God. So right now we're in the time period when Satan was given permission to rule. Now the awakening of the sons of God now come on and examine this world. Then they say Christ was made manifest to destroy the works of the devil. You have to examine this world now and determine these are the works of the devil. We got to destroy that. These are the works of the devil. It's got to be destroyed.
Now I actually heard that somebody was about to say something.
No, you're talking.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah. Okay, so what I heard was like the devil worship and all and the Satan and whatnot. So from what I heard is that is some of the whitewash. They're trying to scare us away from the devil worshiping. You know what I'm saying? From the goat, from the goat head, from the star, and all that, from Baphomet and all that good stuff. From the, what I'm saying, the dark goat. But they claim that's how you achieve your higher power. But that's why they try to scare you away from it, because they don't want you to achieve that higher power. Hence, that's why they write it in the book to make you fearful of it.
Well, I do know that there are two forces in this world. There's light and there's darkness.
You're not even looking into the other one. They got you clearly running to the left side when you need to be going right.
Well, like I say, there are two forces in this world. I know that. There's light and there's darkness. But the thing is, you have to have a proper interpretation of what light and darkness is.
Well,
and that's why I say to go into the blackness is to go into the light. Now, that's one of the things that they try to do is make us believe that go into the blackness is to go into the darkness. We don't have a proper interpretation. We don't have a proper understanding nor image of what darkness really looks like.
Exactly, because it's like, okay, let me tell you this. Let's just say you're in outer space. So if we got the sun, if the sun is out there, how come it ain't super bright? And why is it black in space if the sun is closer out there?
You say, why is space black?
Yeah, why is space dark when you out in outer space and it's not lit up when the sun's supposed to be out there? If the sun's shining here, it should be shining out there.
Because what the sun is doing, what the sun up there does, the sun sends a signal. The sun is radiating black radiant energy. We don't know that though. When
exactly. We don't know none of that stuff.
Huh?
I said we don't know any of that stuff.
That's what I mean, because that's what I mean by destroying the works of the devil. Once we understand that the sun itself sits at a particular place, we have a dome over the earth. When the sun sends a signal and it hits our dome, then it's converted into light. The same way this signal right now hits your phone. It's not sound that's hitting your phone, it's a vibration hitting your phone. You have something in your phone called, I think it's called a transducer. That transducer then converts that vibration to the sound that y'all are hearing now. The sun does the same thing. The sun sends a signal, hits our dome, and when it hits our dome, it then turns to light and heat.
Transmitter and
It
receiver.
does it instantly. But once again, we have to rewrite the sciences because the sciences that they give us have us spinning once again on that on that warp axis.
Okay, all right, I hear you. I mean, don't they say the globe is oval, right? Or it fluctuates?
Man, they say so many things because once again, every time you have wrong information on the inside you, some type of way it discombobulates your spirit and does not allow you to vibrate at the highest frequency that you have the capacity to vibrate. Once again, the highest capacity that you can vibrate, according to this word, is to be Christ-like. But if I got you believing the wrong thing about the sun, the wrong thing about the moon, the wrong thing about space, the wrong thing about light and darkness, then we have to get all of that wrong information out of us so that we then can spin on the right axis. And I think when we spin on the right axis, I think the axis of the planet itself will reverse because they say the Earth sits on a 23 degrees and 30-minute axis. I believe that axis will stand straight up when we stand straight up and be at 90 degrees.
Well, first, okay, I don't think first off, we're not gonna really go. We're not gonna ever be able to really transcend or tap into that if we're not walking barefooted. If we're not if we're not walking on the ground, walking on the grass, walking on the earth, collecting the energy from the earth. You know what I'm saying? Getting it from the sun. If we're not really for real connected, the fact that we wearing shoes lets us that keeps us away from the grass. That keeps us off the dirt. That keeps us from being connected to the planet.
Oh
Wearing
yeah, all
clothes
of those things. Yeah, all of those things are designed to a degree keep us disconnected to a level,
yeah.
like what you're
Oh
saying.
yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. But
But I think
I
the
hear
number
you.
one, but
I
I
think you
think the
going,
number
bro.
one thing that keeps us disconnected is wrong information, lies.
Well, I kind of like I mean the wrong information. I feel like just like how Martin Luther King when when he said when he wanted us to get rid of segregation and whatnot like that, and they know we should have went separate. We shouldn't have clicked up with them. We should have got our own stuff. But he ended up combining us together and whatnot like that. So we just out here making it happen.
Well, I think all of that was written that way. I think it was supposed to go that way because, a certain psychology was used on us. And all of this stuff is really the way I see it unfolding according to a perfect plan.
I mean, I wouldn't say that. I would say the energy, the globe, like the planet, the weather, all that's going to be fine. All that does what it does automatic. Everything, a lot of stuff is automatic. We don't have to tell us, you don't have to tell your body to breathe. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to, like, even when you sleep, your body is working it ain't shutting down completely. It's still doing stuff automatically. You ain't got to tell it to, inhale, exhale. These are automatically programmed into the cells, into the organs, into I hear that, man.